that you can retire on, but you know, a little bit of help goes a long way in these times. Without Funky Uncle's help, I would not be able to have put the work into my horns.
Do their best to settle me down, yeah. I waited out here, ain't no settling for settling down. If there's a land rush, I'm gonna chase into the sea. Oh, I got to believe that it'll all work out. I got to believe a change will come around. If there's a land rush, I'm gonna chase it to the sea. Yeah, I'm gonna settle the land. Oh, the land ain't gonna settle me. Oh no, these towns named after saints would be so good to the sinner. If I make it through the winter, won't this place feel more like home? Yeah. Still my mind it wanders back to the house that I grew up in. And all the sleepy sounds of sweet home rest easy on my soul. I waited out here, ain't no settling for settling down. There's a land rush, I'm gonna chase it to the sea. Oh, I got to believe that it'll all work out. Yeah. I got to believe a change will come around. If there's a land rush, I'm gonna chase it to the sea. Yeah, and I'm gonna settle the land. Oh, the land ain't gonna settle me. No. Settling down. If there's a land rush, chase it to the sea. Oh, I got to believe that it'll all work out. I got to believe a change will come around. There's a land rush, I'm gonna chase it to the sea. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna settle the land. Oh, the land ain't gonna settle. No, the land ain't gonna settle me. Oh, well, I'm gonna settle the land. Oh, the land ain't gonna settle me. No, not. Hey, thanks, y'all. How's it feel, Miles? Playing shows again, huh? Here we are. I'm gonna play another song I wrote. This is off that same record, in fact. It's called It's Gonna Take a Little Rain. As we all know, sometimes that is what it takes, isn't it? But we're getting through it, aren't we? Through the storm. We're making it. Anyway, song goes like. I met her last September. In these days I call her mine. She's my summer windswept Juliet, my autumn Valentine. Yeah, we set out on a Sunday to enjoy the sweet sunshine. Oh, she says, babe, how I wish it could be like this all the time. It's gonna take a little rain to let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain, babe, before the flowers start to show. Sure, we'd all want it our way, autumn, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. Well, we partied on a Sunday, much too gloomy for its name. Yeah, the visions of forever faded into yesterday. And I grow tired thinking about starting over. All I can help but say is, good Lord, why does it always have to be this way? It's gonna take a little rain to let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain before the flowers start to show. Sure, we'd all want it our way, autumn, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. The dark storms will come, bringing dark days. Rivers will rise, what they want they will take. But that storm will pass, and you will remain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, leave that to the rain. The dark storms will come to bring in dark days. Rivers will rise, what they want they will take. But that storm will pass, and you will remain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, leave that to the rain. And when that storm passes, take you by the hand, let you know I'll be forever your man. You'll know this love was never in vain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, just gonna take a little rain to let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain before the flowers start to show. Sure, we'd all want it our way, autumn, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. Thanks, y'all. Sure do appreciate you. Well, while I put this harmonica on, I feel like I should explain myself in my ponytail. This is my pandemic let it grow, plan. So when I get vaccinated, I'm gonna get it cut, and I want to put that out there, and let Joe Crown know that I ain't gonna steal his look or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Leave it.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. You gotta leave it, dude.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. I think that it's the ponytail in particular. There's nothing else functional to do when you're playing the show, but I mean the other move is just to rock the bandana here and just let it fly. But that's too much. It's too Jerry Garcia or something. I can't go that far. Anyways, here's another song I wrote about. Well, I wrote this the day that a friend of mine's mother asked me why I didn't write more songs about Jesus. True story. I don't know what I told her. I think I passed out, but when I came to, I wrote this song by request. Thanks for that. This one's called Just Another Beautiful Girl. She was the prettiest thing that they'd ever seen in a small town run on gasoline. They marveled at her green eyes and her curls, but in any other town she'd be just another beautiful girl. They wore that Bible belt just a little too tight, down a one-way street with only one street light. So to take it right, you had to go the wrong way first. But in any other town, she'd be just another beautiful girl. She got a car with a boy, got a car with a cigarette. Yeah, Jesus might forgive him, but the preacher's never gonna forget. She was everybody's gossip, everybody prayed for her. But in any other town, she'd be just another beautiful girl. She grew up fast and she hiked up her Sunday gown. And our high school boys learned fast that they should hang around. In a small town nights, the only thing going down was her. Lord, in any other town, she'd be just another beautiful girl. Yeah, they were looking through them Bibles, she was looking through a magazine. She liked them black and white and she loved them in between. Those looks she got were more than she deserved. Lord, in any other town, she'd be just another beautiful girl. She got a car with a boy, got a car with a cigarette. Yeah, Jesus might forgive him, but the preacher's never gonna forget. She was everybody's gossip, everybody prayed for her. Lord, in any other town, she'd be just another beautiful girl. She took the hand of a black boy and they ran away. The day she found out she was 3 weeks late, she knew that town would never love her baby girl. But in any other town she'd be just another beautiful girl. She got a car with a boy, got a car with a cigarette. Yeah, Jesus now forgive him, but the preacher's never gonna forget her. She was everybody's gossip, everybody prayed for her. Lord, in any other town she'd be just another beautiful girl. She was born, prettiest thing her mother ever seen. In a busy hospital down on St. Joseph Street. Should have seen her hazel eyes, brown skin and curls. Oh, but to everybody else she was just another beautiful girl. Thanks, y'all.
All right, folks. Another beautiful song by the great Andrew Duhon, live from the Funky Uncle. My name is Soul Stu, and we are so honored to welcome y'all to our 50th show that we've put on here at the Funky Uncle, our golden anniversary, and we couldn't do it without you. We hope that you've been having as much fun as we've been having doing this. Got to give a big shout out to Mr. Duhon and Mr. Weeks here, who filled in last minute. Our good friend Bruce Sunpie Barnes, he was supposed to play tonight, but once again, he got his vaccination, kind of laid him out, but it's okay. He's going to be back soon, so y'all don't worry. And we're glad that, vaccinations are coming. It seems like the town's starting to get a little bit more back to normal, but we still got a ways to go. But either way, the Funky Uncle has been here for you before, and we'll keep being here for you. Appreciate all your help and everyone who's become a funky cousin lately and who's helped to support us in all the different ways. Now, Leslie's going to talk about that some more. Leslie, looking lovely, darling. I love the golden garb you got.
Oh, yes. It's a golden day. I always tell people I am golden. I tell you what. Andrew, thank you so much for that last tune. About 6 years ago, maybe, I guess, you came into WWOZ on a Thanksgiving Day. And you played that song sitting across that desk for me. And I was in tears. I grew up in a very small town, and I was just that girl, Yeah. Got caught with the cigarette, and not many people forgave. But I will forgive you, if you text FUNK to 36413. How was that for a segue? We are here celebrating our 50th, our golden week. 50 shows we've been doing this, 50. What we are going to do tonight, is we are trying to raise $5,000 to help 10 of our musicians who are in need, all right? One of the things that is wonderful that when Bruce, he had to cancel at 3:30, and by 4:15, we were able to find a musician that was able to help us out tonight. Number one, that speaks that our musicians are willing to help each other but that also speaks that our musicians aren't working. I almost would have rather it been that we couldn't get anybody because they were all working, but that's not the way it's going. So we need you. We need you to help. I need you to go to the funkyuncle.live and click on that donate button and help us raise that $5,000. Now, I have something very special here. Because we have been doing this for 50 weeks, I think it's really important that we tell the story of all of our gig workers that have been here to provide you with this live music. Our musicians are doing an incredible job, but it's the people behind the cameras that you never get to see. And I'm joined here with Kate, right behind me. Kate, Gustavo, wave at the people, Easton, and Joey. Now, Joey has been here for 24 weeks, and Joey is part of our IT staff and marketing. Easton, you've been here for 20. And our interns, Gustavo, has been here for 4 weeks. He does an amazing job of holding the sign up with everything that I'm supposed to say, which is why I'm stumbling right now because he's behind me. He's not in front of me. And Kate, our sound engineer intern, has been here for 3 weeks. How are you doing? I'm so happy that y'all are here with us. Easton, you have been here 20 weeks. What has been your favorite night of the whole thing?
My favorite night.
You got to speak up louder than that. I'm old and deaf.
My favorite night was Little Freddie King. That was one of my first shows here. I believe he's a little over 80 years old, and I don't think that's something that I'll ever be able to see in person again. So that was a very unique experience, and I enjoyed it.
And we appreciate you being on the other end of that keyboard that helps us figure all this stuff out. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have these pieces of paper in my hand right now. Thank you very much. Joey, 24 weeks. Wow. Tell me, what was your favorite night here?
My favorite night was actually my second week here, Jay and the Causeways.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I feel like everything kind of clicked that night. Everything was going good, and since then they've become one of my favorite bands, and I love it. I love being here. I love helping out.
So, Kate, internship means volunteer, right? Pretty much, all right? And you were a student in one of our universities here. Where are you going to school?
I go to Loyola University.
In music business studies,
music
right?
Industry studies.
Music
yeah.
industry studies. You've only been here for 4 weeks, or 3 weeks. Has anything just blown your mind so far?
I would say all of it, honestly. But I think I would say that this week is my favorite show, just because I'm not super accustomed to funk music, and this is more of what I like to listen to, but I love it all, so it's really great.
There you go. Gustavo, what do you hope to see happen in the future with this? Step up to this mic. There you go.
I hope this helps keep gig workers and musicians afloat during this pandemic, and hopefully they're able to get back out and play gigs when everything comes back to normal.
Yes, indeed. Have you had a favorite night so far?
I haven't been here long, but my favorite night has got to be last week. Tony Hall, amazing solos and funk.
Cool.
Yeah,
that one was pretty cool. Well, I want to thank y'all for all of the hard work that you're doing. And if you want to thank them, please go to the funkyuncle.live and click on that donate button. Or you can possibly click on the I want to be a sponsor button, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, because Shelby over at AOS has been here for a bunch of weeks. I've got to ask, 18 weeks?
Shelby,
18,
my man.
Those are a few more gray hairs there. All right. Text FUNK to 36413 and become one of our funky cousins, because we need your help. Stu, you are, we're going to talk to you in a little bit, because you've got lots of stories to tell.
I do, but I just want to say how great it is seeing you sit here and ask, ask people, the staff, like their favorite shows, because it starts bringing it all back to me. And, we've got the best crew out there. But I love, like, the new fresh blood that's been brought in with these, like, hardworking young folks that are, like, coming in here with such great energy. And, some of us, we're kind of old and jaded. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been seeing these bands so many times. But they kind of have fresh ears, and it's a new experience, and I love to see them enjoying it because it takes me back to when I first discovered New Orleans music, and when I threw myself in it head first, just like they have. It's beautiful to see that whole circle of the song coming together. That's what we're about, New Orleans. That's what we're about here at the Funky Uncle. So appreciate everyone out there who's joined the family. We're going to let these fine musicians get back to doing what they do best. Yeah. In the meantime, y'all remember to wash your hands, stomp your feet.
All right. Play a new one, y'all. This is called Creatures of the Deep. Goes like this.
I just need some more turbulent seas than I've been able to find. Just walking the shoreline, washing up along the beach, terrifying beasts undiscovered till now. Don't you think we need to talk about it? 'Cause when we look out on the water, the surface is all we see. But we let our minds go farther, don't we? Don't we? We are creatures of the deep. The creatures of the deep. I believe we are creatures of the deep. 1,000 fathoms down, maybe we could fathom how share the light inside this darkness, way deep down. I was waking up to changing tides, but history just wanna ride. Well, ain't we learn nothing? And I just wanna grow something, Lord. I can feel this land subsiding. I've been doing more reading than writing. I do need someone I can confide in. 'Cause when we look out on the water, the surface is all we see. We let our minds go farther, don't we? Don't we? We are creatures of the deep. Creatures of the deep, I believe that we are creatures of the deep. 1,000 fathoms down, maybe we could fathom how we might share the light inside this darkness, way deep down. It's gonna get way deep, but I'm way down to feel our way around. We'll shed a little light in the darkness. Well, shed a little light in the darkness. Yeah. 1,000 fathoms down, maybe we could fathom how we might share the light inside this darkness. Way deep down, way deep down. But I'm way down. Feel our way around. Just shed a little light in the darkness. Shed a little light in the darkness. Shed a light inside the darkness. Shed a light inside the darkness. I believe. Shed a light inside the darkness. Shed a light inside the darkness.
Thanks, y'all. That was us fading into the deep, dark depths. You could feel it, right? You feel that? That was, yeah. We accomplished that good. It was cinematic, you know. Too bad we don't have the drums to accentuate that. We missed Jim. He's in Lafayette at the moment. We had about 2.5 hours before the gig, and it's about a 2-hour drive, so it wasn't going to work out for Jim. But, what was I about to play? Oh, I remember now. Play a song I wrote called Evelyn. How you doing over there, Miles?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, pretty good.
Good man. This one here goes exactly like this.
Seed of Adam and Eve, that apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Well, I stole Eve's hand and we ran behind some bushes to try a more original sin. I said, I think I love you, Eve. She said, call me Evelyn. I said, I think I love you, Eve. She said, call me Evelyn. She said, come on, baby, why you wanna wait? Why don't we start this whole thing over again? Come on, baby, why you wanna wait? You know we can start this whole thing over again. These days she loves it when I call her Evelyn. We were short on rent and got cast out by the landlord. That don't seem to faze Evelyn. I found an empty boxcar and I pulled her on board. We get south for the winter setting. She runs her fingers over the letters I called in. These days she loves it when I call her Evelyn. Come on, baby, why you wanna wait? Why don't we start this whole thing over again? Come on, baby, why you wanna wait? You know we can start this whole thing over again. These days she loves it when I call her Evelyn. Jackson next to Charlie's bar, and I convinced Charlie to let me play. He couldn't pay us no money, but he had a place upstairs where he let me and Evelyn stay. We like it fine, but talk all the time about leaving again. Maybe settling down somewhere like France or Ireland. Come on, baby, why you wanna wait? Why don't we start this whole thing over again? Come on, baby, why you wanna wait when you know we can start this whole thing over again? We'll find a rundown shack on a small piece of land, and I'll work on the house while you make us our own garden.
Hey, thanks, y'all. I'm gonna call this out because it's interesting more than embarrassing. But I was just, really feeling it on that solo, right? And I managed to headbutt the mic a little bit. It happened. Which, it's been so long, I don't even know the spatial, between me and the microphone. I'm just in my room, So, got to remember the spatial thing again. I'll get it. I'm learning again.
You'll get used to it.
I'll get used to it again. Here's hoping. Yeah, truth be told, you guys were talking about, lucky that we had some musicians who could, jump in on this gig. Truth be told, as soon as Miles and I heard that there was a vaccine, we just been sitting in the driveway in the van listening to the radio, just waiting for the call. So this kind of worked out perfect for us. We were listening to OZ and, phone rang, which is great. All right, I'm going to play a song that came out of the Midwest. Wrote this before me and Miles and the trio realized that it was a bad idea to book gigs in Texas and then California and drive between them. This one's called Easy Ways. Fly to LAX and rent some gear. That's the right move. Let me make sure I got that right for you, y'all. There it is. She's an old gal, and she's just remembering how to do this too. All right, sweetheart, here
over the Nevada mountain, pretty as a pastel torn across a rough edge. Oh, look at me now, I'm lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways around. Around the trouble and the shape I'm in, but they don't go to places I've been. Easy ways around, oh, the trouble and the shape I'm in, but they don't go to places I've been. Forbidden taste, you kiss my cheek and then you kiss my face, until there was no face left to say. Oh, look at me now, I'm lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways. Johnny, you can get your start. You can buy the hat, you can play the part. These days, that's the state of the art. That's why there's a baby. Nashville, Johnny, you can get your start. You can buy the hat, you can play the part. These days, that's the state of the art. the shape I'm in. They don't go places I've been.
Yes, indeed. Beautiful.
Thanks so much, y'all.
Beautiful. Give it up for Andrew Duhon and Miles Weeks, y'all. Live from the Funky Uncle. My name is Soul Stew. It's such an honor to be standing here, and what a lovely night of music we have. You know, in the 50 weeks we've been here, not only have we had some of the highest quality music coming out of the city you could hope to see, but we've also had such diversity in the bands that we've had in here. We've had everything from Mardi Gras, Indian, funk bands, to brass bands, you know, playing gospel tunes, to, you know, the uptown funk numbers that just blow the roof off the place. And that's why it's so cool now, though, to have Andrew Duhon here, whose songs just, they tell a story. You know, they paint such a great picture. His imagery and the soul he puts into it. It's raw, it's rootsy, it's stripped down. It's about as honest as it gets. Honor to have him here. And, of course, this was an unexpected treat, but that's how New Orleans looks out for their own. One musician can't make the gig, well, someone's there to step up. You know, we always got your back. And that's what we've been doing here in our community. We've got the musicians' backs, the gigs workers' backs. There's nothing that makes me prouder than when one of my fellow rock and roll soldiers, who I've been down in the trenches with the Jazz Fest, calls me up and says, hey, man, I got my check today. Thank you so much. You know, you're helping me feed my family. You're helping us get through these hard times. That's what we're here for. That's what New Orleans does for each other. And thanks to you, we keep doing that. So we also couldn't do it without our amazing crew. Leslie's got some wonderful members of that party over there. So, Leslie, how you doing, Don? Let's be some more friends.
I have got lots of friends here. I've got lots of friends that have been here since the beginning. And since we're a pod, let me do this so I can you can hear me a little bit better. 50 weeks, 53 bands. Oh, my God. Can you believe it? That's a long time for us to be sitting, you know, on our sofas wishing for live music. And the Funky Uncle has brought you live music every Friday night since April the 3rd. That's when all of this started. 50 weeks. My God, it's been golden, guys. I came on in July. But y'all have been here since the beginning. I am very, very honored to be here with BJ Lean. Did I say that right?
BJ.
Yep, you got it.
And Hollop.
BJ
I got that
house.
one right. And Shane Norris.
Big Ed, Shane,
Three of
get
our
up.
producers. They're here with me right now. They've been here since the beginning. It would not have happened without these gentlemen. Shane, I have to say thank you because you have the hardest job in this place. You have to make me look good with lights, all right? All right?
It's not hard to make you look good, Leslie.
Yeah. They're buttering me up. I know that. I know they are. And what has been your favorite night here?
I knew this question was coming, and this is the hardest question that I've had to answer about this show, but I think the one that really stands out was the night we had Sam Price and the True Believers, and we had everybody marked out in a 6-foot square, and Whitney and Sam brought it to the house. They brought the energy in. My heart was singing, and it actually brought tears in my eyes because I realized just how far this was going to go about that point. And when they brought that in, I felt like that was it. We were off and running, and I have to say that was the spot that meant most to me.
You know, you can go to the funkyuncle.live and you can look up all of these acts that everybody has talked about, from Little Freddie King to Sam Price to everybody else's favorites. You can go back and watch all of these on the funkyuncle.live after you click on that donate button. Well, not really. It's not going to keep you from it, but I'm asking you to be sure and click on that button because we have raised $409.77. All right? $284,409.77. I want to find out who gave the 77 cents. Can we find that out? Easton, look that up for me, all right?
It was the tax man.
So, Ed, you were working even as we were on camera right now. You were working because you were telling them where to do. Tell everybody, you have been here since the beginning, and tell everybody what you do here. What is your job here?
Well, that depends on who you ask.
Obviously not the sound guy. Lean into that microphone, baby, all right?
I'm usually the loud mouth back there telling everybody else what to do. So you can hear me screaming at people, move the camera right, come on, what are you doing? The other right, the other right.
Your other right.
Yeah, so I brought all the cameras and the camera crews and all these guys. They're all, from our group.
From your group, New Orleans Video Productions, right?
Right, yeah.
And what's your favorite night been here? Who's been your favorite performer?
I just look forward to every Friday, because half the time I don't even know who's going to play until the night of. And I'm sitting there, writing up the graphics. Oh, it's going to be that kind of night. And every night is so different, and the music has been so varied and so excellent, so I always am looking forward to the next one, no matter what happens. I mean, we had a total change of band tonight, and I think we're coming up with some real magic,
Oh, we definitely have magic here
So,
tonight.
when we show up and we have to set everything and get the shots and line up and get the lights and get everything just so, and it's so unique each time. That's the magic for me.
BJ, BJ is our sound engineer. BJ is the one who takes a 3-block long, 2-3-story high building and makes a musician sound like they're sitting in my living room. And that is such a talent, BJ.
Well, thank you.
And amazing. BJ, our sound engineer. Come on, guys. Let's put some hands together. BJ is, there's a joke about never upset your sound guy. Never upset your sound guy. And you have been one of the most easygoing folks that I have worked here with. And you've always got... Y'all stop laughing. I get here late, all right? So...
yeah, she misses all the drama.
What's been your favorite night? I mean, you get to hear it all, but what's been your favorite night?
I've been thinking about that question since I knew it was going to be asked, and it's a tough question.
Wait, who shared the questions with these people? I'm going to have to ask them some new ones, all right?
Yeah, no, it's a hard question because I got to go with what Ed said, is that every night is a special night, and it's all different. So it's hard to pick one out of the other because every night is great. Okay, you want me to pick one? I'm going to say my first night.
Your first night.
My first show. Yeah. My first show here is the one that kept me coming back. 48 shows ago.
And these guys, our producers, have been here since April.
Yeah, Iceman Special.
I mean, that has been Iceman Special.
Iceman
was
Special,
a good one, yeah. These guys have been here working their butts off. They don't show up at 6:30. They're here in the middle of the afternoon, turning a Mardi Gras float den into a live event studio. Also here every week has been Frenchie, and I'm going to drag him over here a little bit later. Hey, baby. Frenchie paints a live event painting every week. And I can look at these paintings and realize that, I mean, I can hear the music when I look at these. That's what they mean to me. You can...
Magic, music, medicine.
Ah, there you go. The man said it himself. So now what we've got that that you can click on, thefunkyuncle.live. You can click on donate. You can click on become a sponsor, like Shelby did with AOS. And you can click on bid on the Frenchie painting. I want you to go over to the Funky Shop. That's a new button on our website. And you can find prints of all of our Frenchie paintings right there. We're going to have some merchandise coming soon, but tonight I just found out we have already raised in the last, what are we doing, like 30 minutes here, 40 minutes here? $2,300.
Halfway.
We are almost halfway there. $5,000 we're trying to raise tonight, and you can make that happen. You can text FUNK to 36413. That's really easy. You can do it once, or you can do recurring and become a funky cousin. Come on, folks. Don't make me go mama on you. Don't make me go crazy aunt on you. I will. I'll do it. Please click on that button, because there is light at the end of the tunnel, but, baby, we're still in that tunnel. Our musicians are not working. Our gig workers are not working, not like they're supposed to. So you can keep us afloat. We're bringing the live music to you until you can come to us. Stu, tonight's music has been, it's been good for the soul, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
It's been fantastic. And I'm going to drag you down here and talk to you in a little bit. But shall we have some more music, Stu?
Yes, absolutely. Let's let them get back to it.
Hey, hold on.
Andrew
Before you say it,
Duhon
Stu,
here.
I just got to say, I got a text message at 2 o'clock saying, wear gold for the 50th show. This was the only gold I had, so I figured everyone wouldn't mind.
Looking good, brother. Looking good and making us sound good. All right, y'all. Let the musicians get back to it. Y'all don't forget to wash your hands, stomp your feet.
Sometimes a forefather is a poor mother with nothing but dreams for her daughter. She walked for miles and miles in the rain. Well, I have never known that kind of pain. The more I love, the less I trust in money. The more I get to know the soul of my fellow man, the more I travel, the more I feel that I'm a man without a country. Is it true in the story of the promised land? Mother's got a good kind heart. My mother's got a good kind of cancer you don't die from. You just die with love. I got questions about love. You know she'll say the only good answer is gonna come from the heart that's asking it. The more I love, the less I trust in money. The more I get to know the soul of my fellow man, the more I travel, the more I feel like I'm a man without a country. Is it true in the story of the promised land? Motherland, fatherland, sisterland, brotherland. I am hopeful every time I lend a hand. So I'm reaching out, yeah, I'm reaching out. The more I love, the less I trust in money. The more I get to know the soul of my fellow man, yeah. The more I travel, the more I feel like I'm a man without a country. Is it true in the story of the promised land? Hey, thanks, y'all. I appreciate you. That's a new one. Turns out, you get a bunch of downtime, you write some new songs, you know what I mean? That's what I've been doing.
and releasing them just as videos on YouTube. Call them the quarantine songs. Clever, right? But the record won't be called Quarantine Songs, I promise. All right, here's a song that's not a quarantine song. This one's off the latest record currently called False River. The song's called Comin Around. Goes like this.
Way, way back when the world was flat, back when that's the way that they drew up the maps. Best that you could do was turn back, way back. I suppose I know better now. Never would have believed straight ahead was a way back. Coming around. Oh, I'm coming around, babe. Can't rewind the hands of time and time after time. I am reminded I can't keep it all, I can't leave it all behind me. I should have known by now. I'm coming around. Well, I believe I'm coming around. Keep your chin up, head down. I'm too far gone to turn back now. Yeah, I'm coming around. I believe it. Yeah, I'm coming around. Yeah. Way, way back, used to pick up the phone just to see if the scar was gone. But if you wanted to heal, you gotta goddamn leave it alone. I suppose I know better now, babe. I'm too far gone to turn back now. Can't rewind the hands of time and time after time. I am reminded I can't keep it all, I can't leave it all behind me. Should have known by now. I'm coming around. Well, I believe I'm coming around. Keep your chin up, head down. I'm too far gone to turn back now. Yeah, I'm coming around. I believe it. Yeah, well, I'm coming around. Too far gone to turn back. I'm too far gone to turn back now. Well, yeah. Oh, way, way back now, babe. Way, 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 way back now. Way, way back now. Yeah, too far gone, too far gone, too far gone, too far gone. Way, 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 way back now. Yeah. Way, way back now. Yeah, too far gone, babe.
Thanks so much, y'all. Play a song of some regional specifics, I suppose. This is a new tune. If you're from around here, or if you've even traveled east from New Orleans towards Slidell, then maybe this will ring true somehow. This is called, well, I'm not going to tell you what it's called. You can check it out in the chorus. Watch this.
from underneath this landlord. Find ourselves a home of our dreams, yeah. Oh, but everywhere we look around here, we can't afford it. So I've been branching out to search the greater New Orleans, yeah. Well, I know uptown in the mid-city, baby, have always been your saint. What if I found us a place out in the country where that was fit for a queen? You know I'm talking about the castle on Irish Bayou. It's where I wanna live myself beside you, babe. Castle on Irish Bayou. Yeah, don't you think for me and you, baby, just might do. Castle on Irish Bayou. I know you're worried about leaving all your friends behind, but I can tell you every weekend they're gonna wanna come on by. Catch himself a big old catfish, catch a little sunshine. Well, I know uptown and mid-city, baby, have always been your saint. But what about that place on the way to Slidell, baby? Yeah, you know the one I mean, yeah. You know I'm talking about the castle on Irish Bayou. And don't you think for me and you, baby, just might do. Castle on Irish Bayou. Mr. Real Estate Man, tell me what kind of check I got to write you for the castle on Irish Bayou. I've been thinking about it every single weekend. I can't get it out of my brain. And I know you're wondering what I'm thinking, that I might have gone insane. Well, let me take you out on a boat when it don't look like rain, baby. I'ma take you across that big old moat they call the Pontchartrain, lay out to that castle on Irish Bayou, baby. Don't you think for me and you, baby, just might do well. Castle on Irish Bayou. Yeah, me oh my, you. The castle on Irish Bayou. Oh, the castle on Irish Bayou, yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Yes, indeed, y'all. Give it up for Andrew Duhon and Miles Weeks live here at the Funky Uncle Lounge on this beautiful Friday night. My name is Soul Stew, and as you know, I gotta say, as someone who's driven that stretch of I-10 many times and seen that castle on the Irish Bayou, I've thought to myself before, man, someone needs to write a song about that. And of course, y'all did it and did it so well, man. That was perfect. And like I said, your songs tell a story and the imagery. I love it so much. So honored to have these fine musicians here at the Funky Uncle Lounge. And it is week number 50, and we've had nothing but incredible artists come through here. Different bands every week. There was weeks where we had 2 bands in a night, and you know, I can't think of that many places where it could just stay so fresh and so good and just be new every night. And we still haven't even begun to run out of bands. That just shows you the power of our musical community here in New Orleans, here in Southwest Louisiana. You know, we've got each other's backs, and we're glad that you have ours as well. A lot of you out there have been with us from the beginning. Maybe some of you just hopped on. Either way, you can join our family. Become one with us here at the Funky Uncle. You can become a funky cousin. You can support us. You can get a Frenchie painting. There's a lot you can do. Leslie's got some more of our amazing crew people over here, and she's going to tell you some more about what the Funky Uncle means to her.
It has been absolutely amazing. Andrew, thank you. It's been an absolutely incredible evening. And I need you to go. I want to make sure you understand me and you can hear me well, because I need you to text FUNK, F-U-N-K, to 36413 and make your donation now. That's what we're doing this for. Yes, we want you to be able to hear live music. We want our musicians to play together. We want to support our gig workers, but we can't do that without you. And we need you to text FUNK to 36413, or you can go to thefunkyuncle.live and click on the donate button while you're watching all of these shows. You can watch it live there. You can watch it repeat there. And I apologize if we have any camera issues at the moment, because I got all the camera guys here and ladies here with me right now. All of our amazing folks that, I mean, wow. They wear these headsets, and you met Ed a few minutes ago. Ed is constantly talking in their ear, you know, camera 3, camera 2, get on the drummer. Wait, we don't have a drummer. Get on the bass player. All right, you got to do that. So let's see here. William, hi, how are you? William, you've been here for 20 weeks already. And how exciting has this been for you? Sound guy's not here. Let's do this, all right? Take your mask off if you'd like. You're close.
I mean,
you're far enough away.
Time flew. I really didn't think it was 20 weeks until you said it just now.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite show of so far?
Probably the New Year's Eve show.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, went on for hours and hours, but
as most New Year's Eves do. That was Leo Nocentelli was our closing act. We had Soul Project. We had Erica Falls, and
Kirk
Joseph, and he even tricked me into getting up there. Y'all haven't seen that one. We're not going to go there. It was New Year's Eve, so that was a wonderful night. That was a lot of fun, and yes, we were here all day long. So behind me here is Nico. Nico has been here for 20 weeks also. 20 weeks, baby. Can you believe that?
No, I can't actually.
Oh, wow. What was your favorite show of the whole thing?
I'd have to say Glenn David Andrews, just because I know him personally, and it's just nice seeing people you know have fun, and it's a really great gig working here. I'm gonna have to say that.
And as a gig worker,
yeah,
how special has this been to you, knowing that there are people out there that support you? They text FUNK to 36413. They make it happen every week. Isn't that pretty cool feeling?
Yes, ma'am. It's real nice knowing that people out there care about us and what we do. They support us by donating, making sure that we have gigs. It's real nice, really, really nice.
So one night I'm gonna hold a camera and I'm gonna show you how crazy it is to make this actually happen, because it is truly, it's a dance. Oh man, it's a very well choreographed, chaotic dance that these camera folks do, and I'm so proud of them. I'm mostly proud of, I love y'all all so much. I really, really do. But Stephanie, let's see, you've been here 40 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow. 40 weeks, all right?
Pretty close to the beginning, yeah.
Pretty close to the very beginning. And the OG. And get up in that microphone and tell everybody, what was your favorite show?
I don't really have a favorite show. I mean, I've enjoyed all of them, but I think the main thing is just getting to know everybody and probably getting put into an environment that I would never have been in the first place. So being able to meet everybody and like be close up with all the bands and everybody, it's been nice meeting everybody. So
That's been pretty
Yeah.
incredible, hasn't it? And they're normal people. I'm pretty sure he puts his underwear on one leg at a time like everybody else. But you're right there in their face.
Yeah.
And you try so hard to make sure that they really look fantastic. I'm sorry. I'm talking to Stephanie. All right, I'll talk to you too in just a minute. But I am talking to Stephanie. And we really appreciate all of you being here. But we've got one more that has been here 50 weeks. All right? This young man right here, Gage, has been here every week. You have beat out the producers. You have beat out Stu. You beat me out. Everybody. And what brings you back every week? It's not the Popeyes. I know it's not that. But what brings you back every week, Gage? How important is this?
Oh, I don't know what brings me back. It's fun to do, so I guess. It's better than not doing anything during COVID. That's a big thing. Right.
Favorite night?
Favorite night? It was Big Sam. I think the Big Sam Funky Nation. Yeah, I think that was my favorite show so far out of all of them since I've been here for everyone. Other things that bring me here every night, man, I love being around the people. It's just good.
Absolutely. We get to I will not lie to you and tell you that I'm one of the luckiest people in the world, because every Friday night I get to see musicians make music. And if you want that to continue, if you don't want these guys to leave town, if you don't want these guys to start selling office furniture instead of playing music, I need you to do something. I need you to text FUNK to 36413, because we are trying to raise $5,000 tonight. Now, in our last break, I told you we'd raise 23. Guess what? We're up to right at 4,000. All right? So I'm gonna take a step, and I'm gonna, you know when you give birthday spankings and you give that, 5 and 1 to grow on. All right, I'm gonna say, instead of 5,000 tonight, we're gonna raise 6,000. We're gonna raise 1 to grow on, and I need you to help me do that. Please don't make me look like a fool. Text FUNK to 36413, because Stu, you up there, you've got some more great music for us, don't you?
Absolutely. Making sure our musicians are, hydrated and lubricated, and it looks like they're ready to go. So we'll let them get back to it. Give it up out there in the digital world for Andrew Duhon and Miles Weeks.
Master plan we made feels just out of reach. That's how we justify these hours that we keep. All these hours keeping you from me. Chasing a feeling, always wanting more. Breaking through another ceiling, just to make that ceiling feel like another floor. There's never gonna be a better time. There's never gonna be a finish line. Is it gonna take the day we die to realize it ain't a race? How long we gonna keep this pace? I think we need to slow down before they put us in the cold ground. All we ever say is someday We got to let go. Someday, somehow, yeah, someday, somehow, we got to slow down. All we'll ever have is right here, right now. Right here, right now. I think we need to slow down. Oh, yeah. Our eyes on the horizon line all these years. It's the things we keep our eyes on seem to be the things that disappear when we get there. If this is what it means to be in love, tell me what it is you see in love. All we ever do is speed things up. Can't you see it's never gonna be enough? It's never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be a better time. There's never gonna be a finish line. Is it gonna take a day we die to realize it ain't a race? How long we gonna keep this pace? I think we need to slow down before they put us in the cold ground. All we ever say is someday. We got to let go someday, somehow, yeah, someday, somehow. We got to slow down. All we'll ever have is right here, right now. I just want to sit with you on a porch swing, just to breathe it in and breathe it in and out and in and out and in. Yeah, I want to move out to a small town, sit and wait to see who passes by. 'Cause you know this life is gonna pass us by. Otherwise, you and I think we need to slow down. Thanks, y'all. I will admit to you that I wrote that song before we all had to slow down, you know, against our own volition, you right? So it was a real banger before all that. Let me switch it. Yeah, no, I'm not. I remember what I'm going to do now. I'm going to play you. First off, under the circumstances, the first thing I want to say is best wishes to Sunpie and whatever. I don't really have the details, but okay, great. Well, all the best to him. Get well, be well, whatever the case it may be. Of course, I am glad to be here, but you know, all the best to Sunpie. That said, you know, it's the funky uncle, you know, so I had voiced to some folks this afternoon about, well, you know, maybe we'll try to funk it up somehow, and they said, no, don't do that. Just do you. Do your thing. So, in the interest of that, I'm going to play one more slow one, and then we're going to pick it up. All right? This here is a song I wrote. The light bulb for this tune went off when I was getting probably this guitar worked on by a fellow on Metairie Road named Sal Giardina, who's got a shop, and he's been there forever. I remember riding around as a kid in Dad's van, and there was that shop with the fiddles in the window. Didn't know anything about it, but would come to need the man's services and meet him. So I thought about writing this song, and Sal appears in verse 2. It's called They Don't Make 'Em Like They Used To. Goes like this. Oh, old Mr. Joe's been fixing cars long as I remember, fender to fender, full engine overhauls. His pride and joy is that old Buick. Only time he'll ever use it is to drive his wife to church and the grocery store. Like they've done 30 years of Sundays before. And they don't make them like they used to anymore. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. Broken strings, broken hearts, take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. 'Cause they don't make them like they used to anymore. Yeah, and I know Sal down at the music shop. He's a modern day Geppetto. Instead of boys, he fixes cellos and my guitar. Hey, give a smile when I walk in, and take a break and get to talking about the way things got to be the way they are. He'll say, I'll just keep playing them old blues on that old guitar. They don't make them like they used to anymore, no. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. All broken strings, broken hearts, take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. 'Cause they don't make them like they used to anymore. Bad habits we fell into, trading old for brand new, until a man can't fix a damn thing anymore. Gotta hand it to my dad and his before. 'Cause they don't make them like they used to anymore, no. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. All broken strings, broken hearts, take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. 'Cause they don't make them like they used to now. They don't make them like they used to now. They don't make them like they used to anymore. Thanks so much, y'all. All right, I'm going to pick it up on this one. So as I mentioned tangentially, I am honored to be playing amongst these floats, even with these heartfelt songs. I appreciate you thinking of me. But I think this next one's a little more apropos. I think I wrote this song. It was springtime in New Orleans, which means if you don't have a plan for the weekend, one will find you. And, there's probably a bill full of locals who are playing it, and there's good food there. And it was one of those situations, I think I was going to pick up my car or something. And on my way, I just ended up at a festival, And this one's called Street Fair. And I dedicate it to you guys. I dedicate it to these floats and this carnival spirit behind us. And to the time when we can all gather once again to have a street fair, maybe even an indoor fair one of these days. But first, I'll see you outside. I'll see you outside first. to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby and now old baby say you meet me down at the street fair. Well, I sing a song and bring along a bottle of wine, yeah. Catfish frying in the sunshine, baby, we can eat that. Try me yours, baby, try your mine, yeah. Well, I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July, all my yesterdays in the thin air, but today won't pass me by, not this time, babe. Say meet me down at the street fair. Sing a song, bring along a bottle of wine. Yours in mine is here, and I can feel your body burning up like a street flare. When it's getting late, your place of mine, till I hear the band playing a beat. I got a funny feeling it's right up my street. So come on, baby, take my hand. Let's go dancing all night long at the street fair, baby. Say you'll meet me there. Oh, baby, say you'll meet me there, meet me. Going down to the street fair, well, sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby, and I'll tell it to you, baby. Oh, well, now I'm going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. My sweet baby, and I'll tell it to you, baby. Like I said, I was gonna tell you. Going down to the street fair. Sunny day in July. Me and my baby gonna meet there. Baby, now my sweet baby, gonna take you going down, down, way down, going down, yeah, way down, ain't going down, going way, way down, yeah.
All right, y'all. Give it up for Mr. Andrew Duhon and Miles Weeks, Street Fair. That was a beautiful tune. That takes me back to the memories of, like he said, this time of year. If you don't have plans, they'll find you anyways. You stumble down the street and just, come upon just the most wonderful music. You didn't even know you were seeing it, and then next thing you know, you walk up to the stage and there are all your best friends dancing. Someone hands you a cold beer. It's just another day in paradise, and that's something that we celebrate every day in the city. That's the way we like to live our lives. That's what keeps us down here. And our musicians, our live music, that is our greatest natural resource here, we feel. And that is one that is definitely an essential service, and one that New Orleans and Louisiana always does best. So we appreciate everyone who's joined us on this journey. It's been going on for 50 weeks now. We did not think we'd still be doing it 50 weeks later when we started, but here we are. Don't worry, we're going to keep the music coming as long as we can till that wonderful time when we'll all be together enjoying it again. But anyways, we have so much exciting stuff coming out that we can't wait to share with you. So always check our website, thefunkyuncle.live. So much great stuff going on there. But of course, we couldn't do it with the hardworking crew and many other hardworking people behind the scenes. So we're going to talk to some more of the Funky Uncle family over here with Leslie.
Yes,
got my
indeed.
man Mark. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful has this been? And now you finally get to meet everybody that's made this happen for 50 weeks. 50 weeks. Now hold on. Let's see. In 50 weeks, With 53 bands, we have raised $284,000, 409, all right? We have helped 435 people. 435 people that we have helped. It blows my mind. It absolutely, it's mind-boggling that, no, it's not. No, I take that back. It's not, because I know that you love the music community as much as I do. So it's not, because I know you're there. And the way I know that you're there is that you're going to text FUNK to 36413 and click on that donate button. You can give once a week. You can give a one-time donation. But you know what? If you do a recurring donation and you become a funky cousin, if you spend $100 with us once a month, we're going to send you one of the Frenchy prints that is on our Funky Shop. So you need to go to the Funky Shop. You need to check it out and look at all of those prints. Now, we have 2, maybe 3 original Frenchies that are still available. Glenn David Andrews and Kirk Joseph from New Year's Eve. And then, of course, tonight, Andrew Duhon is, this one is still up. It's still being bid on. There's a bidding war going on right now. You can get in on that at thefunkyuncle.live and click on that bid on the Frenchie painting. Because Frenchie has been here every week giving us a brand new live event painting of this. It's been incredible. Actually, Frenchie has raised over $100,000 of that 284. Yep. So now I'm joined here tonight by 2 of my favorite people because I like to call them support. All right. Now, Anthony, let's see. How many weeks have you been here? You've been here 24 weeks you've been doing this since September. What's your favorite night?
I am always happy when I see people I know.
Uh-huh.
And so seeing Johnny Sketch, because a couple of those guys were my neighbors, a couple for years, and seeing Debbie Davis and Matt Perrine for the Christmas show.
Oh, crap, it's Christmas.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I enjoyed the Erica Falls set there in New Year's Eve. And
that was on fire.
It's always really good to see like people I know coming into the space and letting me light them.
and I was fixing to say, what do you do? What do you do here at Funky Uncle?
I make the lights flash.
You make them flash.
Yeah.
There you go. You see, this is one of those instances where here's Anthony. He's one of our gig workers. And our musicians, I am so thankful that they can go on Facebook, and you can do a Facebook Live, or you can do a porch concert. But our gig workers can't do that. Our gig workers can't do that because our gig workers, what are you going to do? Go on Facebook and turn your lamp, your living room lamp off?
It took me weeks to actually get that cue right when you started to say that. Like, hey, I'm gonna gig workers. You can't turn the light off. Last week was the first week I actually caught it.
Yeah.
Where I actually turned the lights on and off on you.
Right. Because these are the guys that you never see. And another guy that you never see is my buddy Mark here. So Mark is what I call support staff. And Mark, as much as I love you, you've been here since the beginning. There's somebody else that's very, very special, and she's not here tonight, and that's Mark's daughter, Mallory.
What up, Mallory?
Mallory comes here and every week, but tonight, and she's off on the beach, and I got to give it to her, but she's got to bring me back a souvenir, all right? I need a shell. Mallory comes here every week, and Mallory cleans this place within an inch of its life. I'm surprised we have doorknobs and light switches even left on this place because she cleans them. She keeps us safer than any of us adults ever do, and we are so proud of you for being able to be here. And number one, she enjoys it. How old is Mallory?
She's 12, and
12.
Thank you for the shout out for her. I appreciate
she's a sweetheart.
that.
And so, Mark, you've been here since the beginning, and I believe the story I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, never do that. Never do that. That's not a smart thing.
I've learned better than that.
You've learned better than that.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were just, what can I do to help?
Christian came to me 5 days before the very first show,
Mhm.
which, by the way, unlike most here, that was my favorite show because it was the beginning of such a fantastic thing. It was Big Chief Gerald Page with Christian playing with him, thrown together in a second. Yeah. But anyway, and thank you for the shout out for Mallory. Mallory also, my daughter sews masks. She sewed the masks for all the
the masks
the ones
on
behind,
the floats. She made those. That is really.
She works really hard for us. In fact, I don't think they'd let me be here except for her.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons we let you stick around.
Yeah, and I appreciate it,
folks. We are so close to our $5,000 for tonight. Stuart, we have $244 left. $244. I am going to let Stuart beg you for this one. I'm tired of going mama on you. Don't make me do this. You can text FUNK to 36413, but Stuart, I'm going to let you ask him.
Come on, y'all. You know what to do. Just, throw a little dollar in the tip jar just like you would if you were at a show. The musicians were out there playing. You know that all the money that comes in, 100% comes in, 100% goes out to our local community. So please help us keep helping those who mean so much to us so they can keep bringing you all this fantastic music that we've been doing for 50 weeks now. Blows my mind. So honored to be here. So honored to work with this amazing crew and all these great musicians. Speaking of which, looks like they're just about all tuned up. Got one more for us coming up. Maybe two if we get lucky.
Ooh, we might get lucky.
Or even more. In the meantime, y'all don't forget to wash your hands. Stomp your feet. Take it away.
Took those logging roads through the Washington mountains. Far cry from the Southland, far cry from the muddy water I always knew. Emerald blue, emerald blue, yeah. From the mountains out to the coast, I fell for the sea like driftwood, yeah, and she scarred me up good. Well, she scarred me up good till she scarred me smooth. Emerald blue, emerald blue, yeah. Oh, my mountain-top companion, don't that sky look good on you? And when she weave through the trees in the canyon, she'll get green with envy too. Oh, my emerald blue, yeah. Oh, my emerald blue, emerald blue, emerald blue. We borrowed a sailboat, we went sailing around. We were way out there, way out there, way out in the sound when the seas turned black and the storm clouds surrounded. I tried to stay easy to batten it down, but it was crazy. It was Mayday, it was black as night. But I looked in your eyes and somehow I just knew that we'd make it through, me and you, babe. Oh, my emerald blue, yeah, my emerald blue, emerald blue, emerald blue, yeah. Washington mountain, I took those logging roads through the Washington mountain. I took those logging roads
Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I got a couple ideas for you. Is this the encore portion of the set? Is that what's happening right now? Is that what we're doing? All right. Good. I like to skip the formality personally as well. No need to get off the stage or nothing like that. Come on, let's just discuss. So, here's a song. Off my first record. Yeah, that's it. Here's a song. Here's a song off my second record. This one's called Sidestep Your Grave. And frankly, I was a little sensitive to play this for obvious reasons early on in this thing. But goes like this. There's a slow track down a burned out building, baby, don't you wanna go somewhere on east of Mississippi, baby, grow your own, and burn out on that bluegrass. Grow your plants so well now, front of it, let it corn, yeah. You're out, son, you better leave that city, cause the word's out, well, she be getting down with you, boy. You might find that straight and narrow way, but check out the sidestep in your grave. Well, if you slow down, son, the devil gonna catch you, babe, you better move along. Somewhere out east of Mississippi, baby, grow your own. You can burn out on that bluegrass, grow your plants so well now. Flatbed, yeah, on your straight cast. Dead man's jacket from a secondhand store. Well, you might find that straight and narrow way, baby. Check out the sidestep in your grave. Sitting in front of me, let it come. Flatbed, yeah, straight cast wearing a dead man's jacket from a secondhand store. Well, you might find that straight and narrow way. Check out the sidestep in your grave. Sitting in front of it, let it come. Flatbed, straight cast winner, dead man's jacket from a secondhand store. Winner. You might
find that straight and narrow way, baby. Check out the sidestep in your grave. Oh, up in my son, and thou shalt be saved. Well, check out the sidestep in your grave.
Take care out there, y'all. Thanks for having us. That's Miles Weeks, Andrew Duhon. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right. Okay.
No, everyone was wonderful. Everyone was so
Everyone. Isn't he wonderful? Stu, isn't that amazing?
Good times.
That was good times. Grab that mic right there. And, 50 weeks. 50 weeks, Stu. All right. And you have been here since the absolute beginning. And how did that come about? I mean, did somebody call you up, or were you drunk not at the bar because we had all been closed? So, I mean, so it wasn't, so you were at somebody's house and somebody said, hey, man, let's do this? Or what? How did it happen?
Actually, it's much deeper than that.
Okay.
Christian and I go back to 2003. He actually busted me because it was sold out benefit and I couldn't get a ticket. Not be in that crowd, and the only way I saw in was this little gap in the fence by some dumpsters, and I was much slimmer man back then. And I squeezed through those dumpsters. It's since been like chained off. You can't even do it these days. And I crawl around, and all of a sudden I see Christian coming out. He's like, "Can I help you, man?" I was like,
Yes.
You got me. And I guess something he respected my fervency. He was saying. And as I thought he was about to kick me out, he actually walked me into the front row. He's like, "I'll talk to you later, man." And that's how we first met. And then I kind of had to earn his trust after that. But so, anyways, going with.
Well, you were sneaking in the fence. I mean, really, really.
I was caught red-handed. I was guilty as hell. And the man, he's a man of much kindness. It's back to our gig workers and all that. And another reason I'm so honored to be here is the reason I'm here is that Christian and I had a very dear friend, a man named Fly Felix Gaytan, who was the OG rock and roll soldier, lighting director at Tipitina's for many, many years. He passed away right before COVID happened. We all got together at Tipitina's for his memorial, and it was a lot of old production gig workers who hadn't been in the same room, especially Tipitina's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The old days, it was very emotional, and I got up on the mic, shared some stories about Fly. Christian was there, and we were all telling stories because there was many about him.
Oh, there was. There's many he didn't want told.
Yeah, because he was a legend. And so then after that is when all of a sudden this kind of the lockdown happened, and Christian called me up. He's like, "Man, I remember what you said at Fly's, memorial, and we done interviews on rock and roll soldiers. We done many interviews on WWZ. He's like, I think you'd be good for this. This is what we're doing." I, of course, just took me about half a second to agree. I said I couldn't agree more, man. This is wonderful. I was so honored to hop on board, and I've been riding this ship ever since.
You had invited me multiple times.
Absolutely.
To come to Funky Uncle. And I finally showed up in July. And I was blown away with the music. I was blown away with what everybody was doing here. Now, I have been watching from home since April 3rd. I really had. And actually, my son played on April 10th.
Yep, that was wonderful.
Soul rasping. And so I knew what y'all were
Great show.
didn't get a chance to come over here. Now, that night that you invited me was Bo Dallas and the Wild Magnolia.
Yep, that was a great one.
And that was a great night. Hot as it could be. It was
Yeah.
July. And you're standing up there on the float, and you make this statement, you make this announcement that, well, every summer I leave town, and I'm going to be gone for a few weeks. And all of a
gonna say it was a natural fit because we've done this before and always had a wonderful time. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I personally needed to not feel helpless and not feel completely at a loss of how I could help people and how I can help our musicians and our gig workers. And you've been there since day one. And for me to be able to come on board and share this with you means so much.
Oh, cool.
And look what has happened. Look what you started. Look what you did.
I'm a very small cog in this machine. Very small cog, you know. Right.
A lot of little cogs in it, but when it works and it works right, it works beautifully. And I want you to go and text FUNK, F-U-N-K, to 36413 because, oh, wait. Guess what? We made
Did we get it? Nice. Yes.
$5,000. It has gone to help 435 musicians and gig workers, and tonight is going to help 10 more for sure. And I want to thank you at home. Go to funkyuncle.live, go to the Funky Shop around, spend some money. The government says they're going to give us some more, so share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, share it with the Funky Uncle, because that's what we're here for. Stu, what was your favorite night? We're gonna talk
It's a
here.
great question because there's so many, and I could give you so many wonderful stories from each one. But it's a really easy question. My favorite one was my 37th birthday with George Porter Jr., my favorite musician in the world. I mean, I already knew I was the luckiest guy in the history of this whole pandemic, like hands down. But to be able to spend my birthday here with y'all, my Funky Uncle family, with George Porter Jr., my favorite musician on earth, probably one of my favorite human beings on earth.
Right.
And then to sit down and have a talk with them afterwards, I couldn't ask for anything more.
There is something about you, Stu, that makes musicians who won't give 3 words to anybody else other than thank you, man. You get them going, and we're like, all right, we're 15. No, we're 30 minutes over, and Stu still has some talking. What is your favorite interview outside of the music?
I'll just say the way I do it, it's actually blackmail, Leslie, because I know so much about them because I've been in this scene for so long that I'll tell the real story if they don't give me the good
ones. If they don't give you the good ones?
I'll tell the bad ones. So that kind of keeps them on their toes.
Makes me nervous. Makes me nervous every Friday when I'm here. Who's your favorite interview?
There have been so many great ones. For one, I will say one that surprised me the most. I mean, I knew it would be great, but the School of Rock All-Star Kids, it was really awesome to see these like young people playing this music with so much passion, and then hear them all sharing what drew them to playing together and their influences, and it was all the things that we all love. They're like, I felt like I was really a part of something when I came into this band. That's how I felt coming here to the Funky Uncle and just working in production in general. But I will say the Ivan Neville interview was one for, I'd say for the books, but I think some of them books might have been, a couple pages might have gotten torn out after that because Ivan went deep. But I mean, and he also just told a history that honestly needs to be preserved more, like the founding of the Neville brothers. People like Gerald Tillman and Big Chief Jolly who weren't recorded that much. There's not a lot out of them. If you weren't there, you didn't get to hear. You had to actually track down your old school funk heroes and pick their brains like we do here at the Funky Uncle to get those stories, because you can't find that in the encyclopedia and all that. And it's sad that those guys weren't preserved more. That's why it means so much what we're doing here with this interview thing that I love so much. These musicians get to tell their stories, and we can just, years down the road, 20 years from now, 50, 100 years from now, these interviews should be in the Smithsonian. Some of the stories we've heard. George Porter talking about riding down the street with the engine, the piston was blown, and they started singing along to it. Zig starts banging on the roof, and that becomes Look a Pie Pie, one of the funkiest songs ever written.
Exactly.
He told us that.
How did you know? I know. We're finding, I had Little Freddie King, and Little Freddie King hopped on a train. He hopped on a train and came to be with his big sister in New Orleans. and his big sister happened to have a guitar at her house. He had bought a Sears and Roebuck guitar, and when we kind of kept going, and we realized that our time was up, whatever, and someone came to me and said, this man is 83 years old. If he wants to talk, we're gonna keep going.
Amen.
And that's what the Funky Uncle does. It brings not only live music, but it brings the musicians to you until you can come to us. And I bet you're not going to get these stories if you're just hanging out in a bar. And we need to keep our musicians and our gig workers afloat. So I'm going to ask you one more time, please either text FUNK to 36413 and donate there, or go to thefunkyuncle.live. Check out the whole website. Have you seen our website? Oh my God, it's incredible. So much. You can watch all the past performances, and you can donate, and that's the most important thing. Stu, thank you so much for having me here as a part of this with you.
Thank you for being here. And I'd also like to say, while we're explaining to people what we do to raise money for our gig workers, as you can attest, working in, music and production and all of it is a grueling task sometimes, even in, the best of settings. But in New Orleans, it's 5 times harder. We're talking about guys who are loading out road cases from Tipitina's at sunrise, loading them into Jazz Fest at 8 a.m., then going to another night show. People literally working around the clock, hours that, you tried to do that in New York City, you'd be sued by 5 unions, but there ain't no union call at the Maple Leaf, bro. No coffee donut break there,
No.
And we have some of the hardest working people, and they've been hit the hardest. And so I'm just so grateful that we're here, and I thank you for all the money that you've helped to raise and all the support you've gathered. Even when you're not here on the camera, you're still telling people about what we do, and bringing people out here, and having them join the Funky Uncle family so we can keep helping these people, because you've been down there in the music trenches. I've been there with you.
Someone
We're all
said
in it
something
together.
tonight, and it was first one fired, last one hired. And
so true.
and
I am a gig
unfortunately,
worker, and it's how it is.
unfortunately, that's true. First one fired, last one hired. But you at home can make that so much better. Text FUNK to 36413. And as Stu has always told us, wash your hands and stomp your feet. Stu is going to come back in just a minute and do an incredible interview. We're going to find out all of Andrew's secrets. Every one of Andrew's secrets, we're going to find that out. We're going to do that. Thank you for being here on our Golden Week, our 50th anniversary. We have some very special things coming up. We have an anniversary show, April 2nd. Is going to be 1 year that the Funky Uncle's been doing it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but oh my goodness, it's going to be incredible. Y'all stick around. Look at our track record. Thank you, Stu. I appreciate you, baby.
All right, you too, y'all. Wash your hands.
Stomp your feet.
Peace out.
Sure, we put on a lot of really great concerts here, live from the Funky Uncle on Friday nights. But what's it really all about?
Love, appreciation, just trying to give back.
Anymore. Being able to actually come in here and see a great band and get to interview them, that just did so much for my soul. But honestly, just the way we've been able to help people too. Not only to book a band and say, hey, we've got a paid gig for you during COVID, but then also just to be able to call up someone I love like Johnny Vodakovich, who's brought me so much joy, and say, listen man, I know it's a tough time, but guess what? I got a check for you tomorrow. I'm bringing it by your house. You don't even have to come outside. I'll put it under the door.
And I really
I don't even know how to say a big enough thank you.
Oh man, you just keep being you, brother. That's all. That's all we ask. Right? I mean, this whole thing that we're going through, it's just a different break in the rhythm, right? You know?
Tick tock, tick tock.
One long pause. You know, and you got to give unconditionally, without ever expecting anything in return. Otherwise, you don't learn. You know.
And they say, well, here's the such and such, you know, some money to help you out, you know. And I couldn't believe it. I said, whoa, all right, well, great. And so that's how I first found out about the Funky Uncle. Yeah, he gave me money on the spot, you know, which I thought was normally, you know, I never really got any assistance from nothing to the COVID. I don't know if I really applied for anything either. You know, so he gave me like $400 on the spot, and I said, wow, well, thank you, Chris. And it's a great thing that they're doing that, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of musicians that's up in need for a lot of things right now. And but it helped me immensely. It helped me at a time when I really needed help.
We don't just do our art just for us. We do our art, you know, just for you. We do our art for us as well. And this is therapeutic for us. So the fact that we have not been able to get together and jam out and do what we love to do the last 2 months, a month and a half.
I mean, we were playing
the day before
3 or 4 nights a week. You know, so we were seeing each other every day.
I just went through withdrawal, like cold turkey. I just put the last cigarette down and I have not picked it back up. So my nerves is bad and I'm super, super excited to hit this cigarette right now.
We come to see the music and we come to enjoy the music here, but it's so many more people it takes to bring the music. And by walking in the door here and seeing all the other people, it just made sense to me that more money needed to go to the gig work.
Yeah, the Funky Uncle Live, man, they're helping a lot of people. I really love what they're doing. It's great, man. They've helped me, man. I was actually behind on a lot of my bills coming up because of the pandemic. I was behind on my car insurance and my car note and stuff like that, renting, you know, things of that nature. And they've stepped in and helped me, man.
This is the worst I've ever seen it for entertainers and people that assist the entertainers, like you said, the gig workers, and you know, the guys and gals who work backstage. They don't have any work either. So it's this I've never seen it this bad.
It's the big, giant, invisible hurricane that we can't evacuate away from.
No.
It really is not.
Coronavirus, no more gigs. So now we're here at the Funky Uncle.
Gonna call you. That's my landlord. He's gonna thank.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him too, but tell him to call me up and we'll get the communication going.
That's Mark. Don't forget. No.
Yeah, we'll get it straight. Don't worry. We ain't gonna forget you.
To make a living right now, basically, I'm not getting any money, enough money, you know, from the government to even mention. I mean, it's not paying all my bills. It's not paying none of my bills. I'm basically just making it off the street right now, you know, just playing on the street.
You know, this is just as good of medicine for me as it is for the ones we're helping. Christian called, and I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, I'll come paint. And he's like, oh, no, that's not what I was calling you for, French. I just wanted to use your float for the background shot. And I'm like, oh. But it's cool if I come paint, right?
My favorite parts about doing this thing at the Funky Uncle is that a lot of, you know, when bands come in, this is the first time they've played together in a while, and it's just like a certain fire that comes back. Like, so you can feel everyone, you know, it feels good to be back together. So it seems like y'all were really, you know,
we was ready.
Personifying that tonight.
Hey, you got to get it in, man.
You were, exactly. It felt like we were just in a packed, sold-out club.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Now, look, a lot of people don't know. It's weird, though. You know, like, you're pouring, you know, your heart and soul out. But it's weird, man, because nobody's there. It's like, it's just the camera. So you're just looking like...
And our crew just like,
right.
When I found out about the assistance that Fridays from the Funky Uncle gives to musicians and gig workers, I thought that was really an incredible thing. I came home one night and I found my oak tree here had dropped a limb that was so big that I couldn't even reach around it. And it destroyed my neighbor's fence and into her backyard. So that put the dental surgery on hold. And then someone said, well, wait, how about that Funky Uncle thing? Don't they give assistance? I mentioned it to somebody, and within 2 days, they said, this is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to help our folks. And I became a very proud recipient of assistance from the Funky Uncle.
And we're proud to be a part of this community. You know, this isn't the first time something like this is happening. Our fellow musicians, you know, they may start a fund, you know, if somebody, we try to make sure that we help each other.
Absolutely.
And we're a community of band members, we're a community of musicians, and we are a community of people here. You know, we see things happening around the city, around the world. I have to be true to my own experience. I love my city. I roll with my city.
That love comes through loud and clear.
Yo, man, Willie Green, just let you know, Fridays from the Funky Uncles. We want you to be down there and kick ass with the Funky Uncles, yo. Yo, baby.
The Funky Uncle has really, like, I've seen it help a lot of musicians, including myself, like just in the nick of time. Like having groups to come together to really take care of the artists that kind of make sure New Orleans is what it is, like, has been really helpful.
When you talk about lights, camera, action, there's like no gigs, no festivals, there's, you know, instability everywhere. There's one thing that we can control as a musician. Play your music as best you can.
And when you have programs like this,
absolutely,
the Fridays from the Funky Uncle, that have pulled together to not take care of just you guys.
It takes a village to play music.
It does. It does. Our stage hands, our lighting techs, our video techs, our sound guys.
I'm a musician. I got to find a way to play. And if there's no other avenues for me to play, I'm going to create them. But it just allows me, the bottom line, to write a song, perform a song, touch somebody, bring people together.
So you enjoy coming to the shows? And
Oh,
seeing
definitely. Music's our lifeblood. And I was getting pretty antsy before that. We live for our music, and not having it for such a long time was tough. It really was.
And really, these people are gems. They're living legends who get really no support any time of the year. So right now, with COVID the way it is, a lot of these people are really, really struggling. So we're really trying to reach out to the streets, find these guys in their natural habitat, and help them out, because somebody's got to.
It's a massive honor to be part of making music medicine out of New Orleans for the universe.
Absolutely.
You got to give without expecting anything in return, and that's what's happening. And you know, New Orleans, the importance of the New Orleans music, putting out the love and the light, it goes back to Louis Armstrong after World War II, and they sent him all around the world to introduce jazz to everybody. You know, I mean, in a way, I feel we're doing that here in the Den in a spiritual way every Friday. And without having to leave the country, we're putting out that magic music medicine.
It may not be some groundbreaking amount that you can retire on, but you know, a little bit of help goes a long way in these times. Without Funky Uncle's help, I would not be able to have put the work into my horns and have them back into good working condition. You know, everybody go to thefunkyuncle.live and see if you can get a little help.
If you know a musician or a gig worker in need of assistance, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to thefunkyuncle.live and click on that donate button. Help make a difference in the lives of those that make such a big difference in ours.
Fridays from the Funky Uncle interviews Tyson Van Landingham. Second sticks.
I'm gonna go hoodie.
You're going hoodie on me?
I'm gonna go hoodie.
Okay.
Why, it doesn't look good? You don't like
You
the
look
hoodie?
like an Ewok.
What? I look like an Ewok? Is that what you're saying? Because of the gray hair.
Sure, we put on a lot of really great concerts here, live from the Funky Uncle on Friday nights. But what's it really all about?
Love. Appreciation, you know. Just trying to give back.
Anymore.
Being able to actually come in here
and see a great band and get to interview them, that just did so much for my soul. But honestly, just the way we've been able to help people too. Not only to book a band and say, hey, we've got a paid gig for you during COVID, but then also just to be able to call up someone I love like Johnny Vodakovich, who's brought me so much joy, and say, listen man, I know it's a tough time, but guess what? I got a check for you tomorrow. I'm bringing it by your house. You don't even have to come outside. I'll put it under the door.
And I really can't, I don't even know how to say a big enough thank you.
Oh man, you just keep being you, brother. That's all. That's all we ask. Right? I mean, this whole thing that we're going through, it's just a different break in the rhythm, right? You know?
Tick tock, tick tock.
One long pause.
You know, and you got to give unconditionally, without ever expecting anything in return. Otherwise, you don't learn. You know.
And they say, well, here's the such and such, you know, some money to help you out, you know. And I couldn't believe it. I said, whoa, all right, well, great. And so that's how I first found out about the Funky Uncle. Yeah, he gave me money on the spot, you know, which I thought was normally, you know, I never really got any assistance from nothing to the COVID. I don't know if I really applied for anything either. You know, so he gave me like $400 on the spot, and I said, wow, well, thank you, Chris. And it's a great thing that they're doing that, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of musicians that's up in need for a lot of things right now. And but it helped me immensely. It helped me at a time when I really needed help.
We don't just do our art just for us. We do our art, you know, just for you. We do our art for us as well. And this is therapeutic for us. So the fact that we have not been able to get together and jam out and do what we love to do the last 2 months, a month and a half.
I mean, we were playing
the day before
3 or 4 nights a week. You know, so we were seeing each other every day.
I just like went through withdrawal, like cold turkey. I just put the last cigarette down and I have not picked it back up. So my nerves is bad and I'm super, super excited to hit this cigarette right now.
We come to see the music and we come to enjoy the music here, but it's so many more people it takes to bring the music. And by walking in the door here and seeing all the other people, it just made sense to me that more money needed to go to the gig work.
Yeah, the Funky Uncle Live, man, they're helping a lot of people. I really love what they're doing. It's great, man. They've helped me, man. I was actually behind on a lot of my bills coming up because of the pandemic. I was behind on my car insurance and my car note and stuff like that, rent and, you know, things of that nature. And they've stepped in and helped me, man.
This is the worst I've ever seen it for entertainers.
This little program we've been running here for way longer than we expected when things started, but we're still going strong, still bringing the music to you, and we just want to shout out everyone who's donated tonight and everyone who's helped us keep this going. Now, tonight it was our 50th, and we'd had plans for our good friend Mr. Bruce Sunpie Barnes to come in here and play. Now, Sunpie had just gotten his vaccine, which we were all very happy for, but, you know, it just kind of took him out a little bit. He just he felt he wasn't able to give 100%, which he does every time. So we said, no worries, we'll figure it out. Well, our good friend, Mr. Andrew Duhon, happened to be stopping by the record store, dropping off some copies of one of the many great albums that he has out. Our friend Mike Quinlan asked him if he wanted to come in and play. Said, no problem, called up Miles. They put a show together in an hour, literally, and then came in here and played for us. And to me, that embodies New Orleans more than anything. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and fantastic show. Andrew Duhon, Miles Weeks, welcome to the Funky Uncle, guys.
Thanks for having us. You know, whatever we were going to do tonight was not going to be as cool as playing here. So
nice.
Pumped to be here.
Wonderful. It sounded great, man.
Thank you.
Have y'all been playing together? Like, is this the?
Long time now.
8 years.
Yeah.
Think
For his record, The Moorings,
8
we
to
met
10.
like at more of a studio musician
Right.
situation.
Cool. Nice.
We both like to fish, so you know.
But yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Fishing's a hobby. Now, do you guys get out there casting off, reeling something, and all of a sudden, like, lyric might pop in your head? You run it by each other. Songs ever come about that way? Or?
You know, I feel like we should write more about fishing.
Can't go wrong there, right?
It's just that's the truth of it. I feel like the Castle on Irish Bayou tune that we played today, there's some mentions to that.
Absolutely.
There's some verses that probably hit the cutting room floor that had a lot more to do with fishing. But maybe I decided to steer away from that a little bit, you know.
You know what I love about that tune? I feel like if I was from like Iceland and heard that, I'd be like, "This is a great song." I would still, I'd get something from it. But living down here, driving by that all the time,
you know what it is.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's just like, it just brings you home when you hear it.
I mean, and the credit goes to Miles for the idea, because we were driving in the van, probably on our way to Mobile, one of our favorite spots, Callahan's in Mobile, and Miles just looks out the window and says, somebody should write a song about that place. And I was like, Miles, you're exactly right. And he said, go ahead, you do it. And so there it was, Castle on Irish Bayou. But,
Beautiful. What I love about the songs you brought in tonight, and then having you here at the Funky Uncle, we've had such a variety of music here.
You're right,
We've had psychedelic rock bands. Iceman Specials came in here, blew the roof off, Dash Rip Rock, and then we've had the Brassaholics, Soul Rebels, Soul Brass. I mean, and then of course Ivan Neville, George Porter, Leo Dosatelli, like the funk stuff.
Yep.
But New Orleans has so much more than just that. Like, and what I love about y'all said is that it's original tunes from the heart. It's stripped down. It's raw. It's about as honest and real as it gets. There's nothing to hide behind. You know? And I really dug that, and I think it kind of showcases how there's so many different aspects to this beautiful well that is the New Orleans music scene. And I kind of talk to you guys about that. What's it like? I said, I love the song Hey Pocky Way, but I don't need to hear it every time I go out. I like to see musicians doing something different, and that's what y'all got. So,
cool.
You talk about how y'all, got playing together down here, and what it's been like. What do you think, like, the new original music coming out of this town is where it's at right now?
Totally. Well, I think New Orleans probably isn't unique in the idea that any mid to bigger city, you can find your little niche of creatives to work through and be inspired by. But I think New Orleans is unique in the way that no matter what kind of creative you are, New Orleans is going to leak into your art, whether you like it or not. You can't keep it out. And in that way, I think, as the singer-songwriter, you might call it, trying to tell a story in a song.
It's a terrible name for the
It's
genre,
awful.
by the way.
Yeah, it's Americana, it's country. Telling those stories in country music. I was inspired by that as a kid, but growing up in New Orleans, there's just an osmosis. So you're still writing that kind of Americana thing, but you know about the Castle on Irish Bayou. I don't mean I don't want to plug that song too much. It's really more of a goof. We've got 18 tracks we just recorded, and 17 of them aren't Irish Bayou. But so, I just want to point that out. But yeah, it's undeniable that New Orleans gets into your songs. Ain't that right, Miles? Miles writes some songs.
Yeah, I've been writing some songs. Andrew's been, one of the guiding forces in that. It's okay. It's a friend. But yeah, it can't not seep in. I agree.
Yeah, that humidity, it's gonna, as soon as you breathe it in, it's gonna affect you one way or another, right?
That's it.
Well, I love that. And let's talk about the albums that you have out now as well, though. You were saying, and so you've got, how many albums do you have? Like 4 or 5 records?
That's kind of you. I have 3.5.
Okay, and then you said you've got another one in the works that y'all both played on.
It's in the can. Yep. I think, we all got locked down a year ago, and lucky for me and for Miles as a songwriter, we can be creative by ourselves in our room. And I can't tell you how fortunate I feel for that simple, lucky circumstance when so many people can't create without a group or maybe even without a crowd. Maybe a performance artist just can't do their thing, or a gig worker, as you guys were talking about. So I feel really lucky to have been able to spend that year just writing songs. And so I put out videos of those songs publicly, 22 of them so far, with another 10 or so on Patreon, which is the kind of that subscription-based deal. But that's it, spent that time writing songs, and we got a chance to go into the studio with our favorite producer, Trina Shoemaker. So we went to Dockside in Maurice, Louisiana.
Beautiful place, man.
And, it was one of those things that, like, let's be real, I couldn't have put that crew together if they weren't all not touring, So it's
So it sounds like y'all have really been using these strange times to, still stay active and keep creating and work it to your advantage. Like, hey, we're all here. We all love music. Like, why not get together? So, I mean, that's great. Like, how is that? Has that been? Have you feel like that's been kind of a way you've been coping with this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
There's not many other ways to do it, right?
There's just think about what if we were in New York and we lived in like a closet sort of apartment and we just had to stay there. There's so many worse scenarios, and yeah, I mean, I feel lucky that I got to try to write, and I feel luckier that I was able to write, because that sort of muse that's just wafting in the air and sometimes catches you. I managed to write some songs, and I know Miles did too.
I think like the cool thing about this is it's a lot of musicians have come together and kind of like are willing to open up and like not lean on each other, but like support each other. And it's been really interesting. If I have I'm recording music and I have a question,
nice. I've
got like 2 or 3 friends, Andrew, one of them, and a couple others that are like all kind of like these influences in my life, and
they're not like in France, like at sound checks, they can actually answer.
Right, I'm like, hey man, let's talk about this, and like everyone's willing to like come together and help each other, and it's really nice, man. That's been awesome. A big part of keeping me sane.
Yeah, for sure, and that's great to hear. And like we've interviewed a lot of musicians throughout the whole pandemic, and they've kind of been saying the same thing. Like folks calling to check on each other and share ideas and just. That's the only way to get through it, because this is unprecedented. Our grandparents didn't deal with this. Our parents didn't deal with this. We're in new territory. But it's great to see that the music's still surviving. And so, what you also said, you have a Patreon page. Let's shout that out so people can, keep up with you there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that if there's one thing that I feel like has supplemented the sharing, the connection that happens in touring, it's this little subscription platform called Patreon, where I started to share some of the, the raw stuff, the stuff that's just like that first draft that I wrote yesterday. And let me go ahead and knock a video or a track out and just put it out to this group smaller than the Facebook friends. Facebook
You're
friends
really
are
diehard fans that like to see that process.
Totally. So, you can, as an artist, you can choose to charge whatever you want per month as a subscription base for that platform. I just do $5 blanket. You could do levels if you want, but that's it. It created this place of super fans where I feel completely safe. And I can just share any of these songs, and I get feedback. It starts conversations. That's been a useful place to share.
And think about we're probably all similar ages here. Like when we were young kids, really getting into music. We didn't have that. We didn't have any kind of direct line to any of it. Even like the underground artists, like maybe you could write send a letter to their fan club in the back of the magazine.
Proof of purchase,
a PO box or something. But you couldn't send them a message like, "Oh wow, I love the sketch that you just shared." And people had to track those. Like random demos and stuff like that would just kind of get leaked over the years, and folks would, go down an alley to meet some weird old head who had a couple dats of it or something. I don't know, man. But anyways, it's great to see that. I'm glad that technology does exist now. That in these unprecedented times, at least musicians can kind of fall back and use that to really share a different kind of side of their their art.
And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the whiz at the social media world. In fact, I'm terrified of it in a way of sharing some honest parts of me, because it feels too open.
Especially when you do it enough in the songs, it's one thing, but then when you have to do it,
there it is. Yeah, and so to that point, I did start sharing what I called quarantine songs publicly on the Facebook and the social media, and I managed to release 22 of those videos so far. But those were all songs that I felt like, this is the demo draft. I feel like this is just about there. I can share this proudly with any trolls that might come along, right? But Patreon is different in that I can write something in the morning and share it in the afternoon and start a conversation. Not like these people are going to steer the lyric or anything, but just kind of see, I wonder if this one's like hitting or not. Or, it's like a focus group. Yeah, it's great.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So back to like the creative side, creating in a pandemic, like some of the songs you're saying, do y'all feel when you're not out on the road or out playing every night or just going out every night, you feel you have to find different kind of matter to draw upon, because you're not just face to face with songs every night, kind of like
to the affirmative of the utmost, like what comes in has always been partly the road. I felt like our perfect scenario was we're 2 weeks on the road and then we're 2 weeks home, and that 2 weeks on the road is enough to come back to New Orleans and fall in love with it in a different way every time. Just be at a different corner bar or whatever. But it was the road that was giving us that fodder so that we could go home and pick away and just remember those thoughts. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, going out of town for 2 weeks and coming home is handy for those that may or may not be in relationships, because when you go away, it becomes fresh when you come back. So she's not so tired of you.
Right.
She's not so tired of you.
Exactly. Right. She haven't had 2 weeks of your dirty dishes piled up or whatever.
Same thing.
Socks in the corner. Yeah. No, I hear you. Absolutely. No, that's great. No, it's just great to see musicians that are here and they've been checking in on each other and creating together and finding new ways to share their art with the world. That's what we're about here. So man, it's been so great having y'all here. And before we get out, plug whatever things you got coming up. I know Miles, you're in you've been in 12 different bands at a time, it seems. You're such a in-demand player, so I know you gotta have something coming up.
Well, I've been, of course, always playing with Andrew for a long time, but I toured with James Hunter 6. That got shut down pretty hard by all this because it's across the pond. Yeah. And then
that was going to be a great tour, too. I'm sure
it was fun. It would have been fun. But in the meantime, I've got we put together a little project with Jake Eckert and Aaron Wilkinson.
It's my brothers.
Yeah. So doing some gigs around town. I can't tell you
bring that in here.
Off the top of my head where those are at, because
but they can check your Miles Weeks your Instagram page.
They can. I'll post some stuff, and also they can go to either of those guys' respective pages.
Cool. Find out those gigs. Awesome. Can't wait to hear more. And Andrew, what you got coming up, my man?
Next Thursday we've got a show at Gassa with the trio. Jim's got enough notice; he'll be able to make this one, so that's great. But strangely enough, we'll be playing inside, and the tickets are sold outside, but they've got solid streaming. Now, I would have said solid streaming, and now I see you guys set up in production, but I believe that their streaming will be solid. And so they've got a big screen outside, and so you're buying a ticket to sit and enjoy a cocktail out in the breeze with your fellow compatriots and watch the show from outside. So
and that's a song, so you'll still be able to feel those vibrations of what y'all are doing.
I've got some ideas. I'll tell you. Sure. I was thinking, if you're at home, you get to type into the stream, and maybe I'll see that.
Watch this at home as well, right?
Yes, that's another thing. You can buy a live stream ticket, but I think I'm gonna put something that looks like the format of the comment section, printed out just as an analog comment sheet, and then at some point in the show, I'm just gonna see what's going on outside. What is? Oh, okay. Becky says, "Turn Miles down" or something. Whatever.
Hey, not cool, Becky.
That's not what Becky will say. That's not what Becky will say. But yeah, I think that could be nice to have a little bit of interaction during the show, and then I might have an idea or two for an encore idea. But we'll see.
I know you'll have fun with it, and I know everyone who's going to show up is going to have a great time. And then people tuning in from elsewhere can catch Andrew live again. That sounds great. And then just keep checking your website and everything for this new record that's going to hopefully come out in the next few weeks, months, whatever.
It'll be months, but absolutely, we're in the mixing process. Trina is mixing those tracks now. So
did you play any of the songs tonight?
Yep, I played a few new ones. Castle and Irish Bayou.
Okay,
There's
that's
another
off
Castle
the
plug.
upcoming record. Awesome.
Yeah, Creatures of the Deep was a new one. Promised Land. Yeah.
So the
Several.
folks who saw tonight have a little taste of what they're going to get on the new record.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, such an honor having y'all. You sounded great, and thank you so
Pleasure.
much for doing this last minute. I mean, that's just an extra gold star. I mean, we can't
Thanks,
thank
y'all.
you enough.
We weren't doing nothing, so you know.
That's just, to me, that embodies New Orleans. Just that right there. Like, you
Heck
know,
yeah.
running into your friends at the record shop. Hey, y'all want to get a night? Sure, we'll be there in an
Yeah.
hour. You know.
Pleasure, y'all. It was a blast. Thanks for having us.
Wonderful. Great to have y'all. And once again, y'all, please, you know, do us a favor. Join the Funky Uncle family. Text FUNK to 36413. You know, we still are, you know, gaining support for our local musicians and gig workers. Been having a tough time. And like Leslie said, the light's at the end of the tunnel, but we're still in that tunnel, and we're going to keep trucking along. So please help us out any way you can. Because I'm going to tell you, y'all don't want to see me just, you know, out in the French Quarter on the street with just an air microphone telling people to wash their hands and stomp their feet. Like, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun for me as this. I mean, you know, it could be okay, but nothing like this. And getting to bring this great music to you people. So, all seriousness, please text FUNK to 36413. Got to give a big shout out to our good friends over at AOS Interiors. They've done so much to help us keep the music alive and help to bring you guys so much great music. Of course, our crew. I'm glad that you guys got to actually sit there and kind of have a little insight into what goes on behind the scenes tonight, because they work so hard and they do such a great job. We're so honored to have them here, and they make sure they do it all safely as well. So we're glad you got to have a little glimpse of that. Lord knows we couldn't be doing this without them. So anyways, it's been an honor, a pleasure. We'll see you again next week. This is Soul Stew saying peace out, and y'all don't forget to wash your hands and stomp your feet. Woo! All right, y'all. Who that?